Hello and welcome to the Southeast Iowa Union News Break. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. Getting into today's top stories, an unauthorized fundraising email from Mount Pleasant Community High School's FFA made its way to several local business owners. Several business owners contacted Superintendent John Henriksen about an email they received from All American Publishing regarding the purchase of advertising for Mount Pleasant Community High School's FFA t-shirts. The email also implies the current agriculture education teacher endorses the project and FFA sponsor Brady Martin endorses this project. In a press release, Henriksen states this project is not authorized by MPCSD and is not approved by the MPCSD School Board of Directors. For those interested in supporting MPHS FFA and the MPCSD Board, the MPCSD Board has approved the annual Strawberry fundraiser. According to the FFA Facebook page, the students are excited to start their strawberry sales. Sales began Friday, January 13th and end February 9th. The strawberries sell at $15 for a quarter flat, $20 for a half flat, and $35 for a full flat. A flat of strawberries is 8-quart containers. Those interested in ordering can contact an FFA member or email Martin at bradymartin@mtpcsd.org with your name, number, address, and order. Once Martin receives an email, an FFA member will reach out to you. The project delivery date is February 21st. However, that is dependent on when the strawberries are ready for harvest. FFA students will reach out to their customer closer to the delivery. Kim Reynolds announced Thursday a total of $4 million in grant awards to assist with 131 owner-occupied home rehabilitation projects in Washington, Keokuk, Burlington, Grinnell, and Mason City. The money flows through the Home Rehabilitation Block Grant Pilot Program. The pilot program had $4 million in eligible funds available and received applications totaling nearly $4.5 million. Applications were scored on a competitive basis and included criteria such as housing need, impact, community readiness, public-private partnerships, and additional funds leveraged. The projects awarded funding are leveraging an additional $3.3 million in additional funding. Washington is set to receive $400,000 according to the state, with the city saying it would use the money to improve at least a dozen homes. The City of Washington is very excited to receive this housing grant since we will be able to offer housing rehabilitation for up to 15 homes, up to $32,000 per household, City Administrator Deanna McCusker said. The Washington Chamber of Commerce will pilot a new event January 18th at KC Hall, where the organization will host a soup contest and educational supply drive. Chamber Executive Director Michelle Redlinger said the organization hoped to give educators a mid-year restock for their classrooms in the Washington area, including those at Washington Schools St. James and the Kirkwood Regional Center. Teachers at the event will be given a bag and their pick of supplies provided by sponsors. The supply drive will double as an educator's night out with a variety of soups provided for all in attendance. The soup will be provided by anyone entered in the soup making contest, and that contest will be judged by businesses donating to the supply drive. The event also has prizes. Redlinger said the contest winner would receive $100 in chamber bucks, $50 and $25 awards for runner-up. Those interested in donating supplies or entering in the contest can RSVP by contacting the chamber or clicking the link to do so in the group's latest newsletter. Monday, January 16th, which is today, to the 20th, Mount Pleasant Municipal Utilities will perform street repairs leading to road closure. The 100 block of South Walnut Street from East Monroe to Washington Streets are closed due to this work. For questions, you can call 319-385-2121. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the weather and sports.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Hello and welcome back to Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. We have your 5-day forecast coming up, but first obituaries. Gertrude W. Gallagher of Muscatine passed away on January 11th at the age of 89. Wittich Riley Freer's funeral home is in charge of the arrangements. Melvin J. Soap of West Point passed away on January 12th at the age of 92. Schmidt's funeral home is in charge of the arrangements. Frank Leroy Allred of Mount Pleasant passed away on January 12th at the age of 88. Memorial services will be held on January 19th at 2 p.m. at the Cottonwood United Methodist Church in Wayland. Murphy Funeral Home in Mount Pleasant is caring for his arrangements. Lynn Ann Perrin of Mount Pleasant passed away on January 11th at the age of 64. Memorial services will be held at 10:30 a.m. January 16th at the Olson Pound Memorial Chapel. Richard Edward Johnson of Fairfield passed away on January 8th at the age of 79. Celebration of life will be held at a later date. Bender Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Seth Richardson of Keota passed away on January 13th at the age of 44. Celebration of life will be held from noon to 2 p.m. January 21st at the Roost in Keota. Powell Funeral Home in Keota is caring for the arrangements. Gordon Earl Shellman of North Liberty passed away on January 11th at the age of 65. Funeral service will be at 11 a.m. January 17th at Lensing Funeral and Cremation Services in Iowa City. Robert Allen Moyer of Keosauqua passed away on January 11th at the age of 91. A funeral service will be held at 2 p.m. January 18th at the Pedrick Funeral Home. That was obituaries. It is now time for the weather. Today we started off with some rain. Now it just remains cloudy. The high has been 56, which will be a week high. Tomorrow temperatures will drop down to 42 degrees and it will remain cloudy. On Wednesday there's a 50% chance we get some more rain in the evening with the high staying at 42. The rain may turn into snow in the morning on Thursday as the low falls to 27 and the high will be 37. Finally, we will end our work week with mostly cloudy skies and a high of 38. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at last Friday's basketball games. Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
You know, it's not a question of what all you have and so on with your life. It's who is in your life and how much you care for them and how much they care for you. And Tammy definitely cares.
Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross. Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
Been in healthcare for many years. I know that Tammy's that person who wants to help others and take care of us. She knows the healthcare business and wants to take care of others.
Hello and welcome back to Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. It is now time for sports.
Sports, brought to you by Fairway. The Washington wrestling team got to celebrate two different types of thrills on Thursday night.
The Demons not only knocked off a rival in their opening duel, but experienced a come-from-behind 1-point victory in the second. Washington started its home triangular with a 54-27 win over Mount Pleasant. The Demons ended the night with a 40-39 victory over Muscatine. The Demons used a dominant performance in the lighter weights to get past Mount Pleasant. Washington won all 6 from 106 pounds to 132 pounds, including pins from Nate Edmonds at 106, Max Anderson at 113, Caden Greiner at 126, Jack Cleese at 132, and Jude Carter at 138. Washington's Chase Greiner also picked up a pin at 152 pounds. Mount Pleasant's William Birdsell scored a win at 182 pounds. In the closest match of the night, Mount Pleasant's Bowen Davis outlasted Washington's Lane Schrock via a 5-3 sudden victory win at 145 pounds. Mount Pleasant wrestled Muscatine next and picked up 5 wins in the duel, including pins from Gavin Kerr at 152 pounds and Franklin Tuzagun at 285. That set up Washington's final duel against Muscatine. The Demons trailed 39-22 with just 3 matches to go, but finished it up with 3 straight pins to seal the victory. Along with the pins from Coley Billingsley at 285 and Edmonds at 106, the Demons secured pins in the final 3 matches as Jude Carter at 138, Schrock at 145, and Chase Greiner at 152 all did exactly what they needed to do. Washington moved to 2-2 in SEC duels with the win over Mount Pleasant. The Panthers are now 0-4 in the league. Some say it's not how you start, but it's how you finish. That was certainly true for the Mount Pleasant boys basketball team on Friday night. Mount Pleasant had to rally back from a 10-point deficit to stave off a home loss to rival Fairfield. In the end, Panthers prevailed 57-48. Ashton finished the night with 17 points. Peyton Hagen scored 16. Owen Van Siegel and Nate Stroud each had 8 apiece. Mount Pleasant moved to 9-3 overall and stayed tied in first place with a 5-1 Southeast Conference record. Fairfield is now 4-6 overall and 2-4 in league play. Washington boys basketball needed a win on Friday night to stay right at the top of the Southeast Conference standings, and they did just that. After a tough loss to non-conference foe Notre Dame on Monday, the Demons rebounded with a statement 69-45 victory over Keokuk. The win keeps the Demons who are 6-5 on the year and 5-1 in the conference, tied with Mount Pleasant at the top of the SEC standings. For the Demons, Ethan Patterson finished with a game-high 31 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. The senior guard buried 8 threes in the win. Logan McDoyle ended with 14 points and 7 assists. Washington will be back in action on Monday, which is today, as they play host to Anamosa, who is 0-11 on the year. That game is set for 6:30 p.m. Mount Pleasant and Fairfield girls basketball met on the hardwood Friday night for the first time this season. When all was said and done, Southeast Conference clash, it was Mount Pleasant that stuffed out Fairfield with a 60-25 victory. Panthers put together one of their best all-around performances of the year, while the Trojans struggled to find their shot early thanks to the Panthers' defensive pressure. With the win, Mount Pleasant moves to 7-7 overall and 4-2 in conference play, while Fairfield drops to 2-10 overall and 2-5 in conference play. First quarter woes dooming the Washington girls basketball team this weekend. The Demons suffered slow starts and 2 straight losses, a Southeast Conference defeat on Friday and a non-conference loss on Saturday. On Friday, the Demons traveled to Keokuk. A 15-4 deficit after the first quarter led to a 47-28 defeat. One day later, a 22-2 first quarter run by Oskaloosa pushed the Indians to a 53-31 win. Washington is now 6-6 overall and 3-3 in SEC play. The Demons host Anamosa on Monday night and Keokuk on Tuesday. And that is the news for Southeast Iowa. I've been your host, Nick Steffens. This has been your news break, and I will see you next time.